My sister Rachel has always been the golden child. Harvard MBA. Consultant at McKinsey. Engagement to Daniel Hutchinson, a partner at Redwood Ventures, one of the most prestigious VC firms in Silicon Valley. She wore her success like armor and she wielded it like a weapon. Especially against me. So Maya, Rachel said, swirling her wine at our parents' Christmas Eve dinner. Still doing your little Etsy thing? I was 30 years old. I had a master's in computer science from Stanford. And I'd spent the last 6 years building HealthTrack, an AI-powered healthcare analytics platform that hospitals use to predict patient outcomes and optimize resource allocation. But Rachel had decided 5 years ago that I was wasting my life, and nothing I said would change her mind. It's not an Etsy thing. It's a software company. Right. She waved her hand dismissively. Your little startup. How's that going? Still in your apartment? I have an office. Oh good. Is it a WeWork? She laughed and our parents smiled indulgently. Daniel, her fiancé, sat beside her looking uncomfortable. I'd met him twice before, once at Rachel's birthday and once at their engagement party. He was polite, reserved, and clearly smart. He'd said maybe 10 words to me total. Maya's been working very hard, Mom said in that tone that meant she was being supportive but didn't actually understand what I did. I'm sure she has, Rachel said. But at some point you have to be realistic. Most startups fail. Maya's been doing this for 6 years? If it was going to work, it would have worked by now. Some companies take time to scale, I said quietly. Or they're just not viable. Rachel leaned forward. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being honest. Your business is a joke. You've been playing entrepreneur for half a decade while the rest of us built real careers. It's time to grow up. The table went silent. Dad cleared his throat. Rachel, that's a bit harsh. Is it? Maya is 30 years old with no stable income, no benefits, no retirement plan. She's 1 bad month away from moving back home. That's not harsh, that's reality. I have stable income, I said. Do you? Rachel raised an eyebrow. How much did you make last year? I could have told her. I could have said that HealthTrack generated $23 million in revenue last year. That we were on track for $41 million this year. That I employed 73 people across 2 offices. That we just signed contracts with 8 major hospital systems. But I'd learned years ago that Rachel didn't want to hear success stories from me. She wanted confirmation that she was superior. So I said nothing. That's what I thought. Rachel sat back, triumphant. Look, I love you. We all do. But someone needs to tell you the truth. Your business is a joke. You need to shut it down and get a real job before you waste your entire 30s on a fantasy. Rachel, Daniel said quietly. It was the first time he'd spoken all evening. What? I'm helping her. Someone has to. I don't think. Daniel, you're a VC. You see failed startups every day. Tell her. Tell Maya that 6 years with no exit, no major funding, no traction. That's a failed company. Daniel looked at me. Really looked at me for the first time. There was something odd in his expression. Something like recognition. I think Maya knows her business better than we do, he said carefully. Oh please. You're being nice. That's sweet, but it's not helpful. Rachel turned back to me. Your business is a joke, Maya. Accept it and move on. My younger brother Tom shifted uncomfortably. Can we talk about something else? Why? Because the truth is uncomfortable. Maya needs to hear this. She's wasting her life. I'm not wasting my life. You're 30 years old playing startup founder. What do you even do? What does your company actually make? Healthcare analytics software. Rachel snorted. So you made an app. How many users do you have? We don't have users. We have clients. Hospital systems. How many? I could have said 47. I could have named them. Massachusetts General, Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins, Stanford Medical. I could have mentioned that our software processed data for 2.3 million patients annually. But what was the point? Several, I said. Several. Rachel laughed. You hear that, everyone? Maya has several clients for her healthcare app. That's adorable. Meanwhile, I'm advising Fortune 500 companies on billion-dollar strategies. And Daniel's firm manages $4.7 billion in assets. But sure, your little app is going great. Daniel was staring at me now with that same odd expression. like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Your business is a joke, Rachel said again, slower this time, like she was talking to a child. And the kindest thing I can do is tell you to stop embarrassing yourself and get a real job. I stood up. I need some air. Oh, don't be dramatic, Rachel called after me as I walked toward the back door. I'm just being honest. I stepped onto the patio and closed my eyes. 6 years. 6 years of building something real. 6 years of 80-hour weeks and sleepless nights and impossible problems. 6 years of growing from just me in my apartment to 73 employees who depended on me. 6 years of changing healthcare, saving lives, making a difference. And my sister thought it was a joke. The door opened behind me. Daniel. Maya, I'm sorry about Rachel. She can be intense. It's fine. It's not fine. She shouldn't have said those things. I turned to look at him. But she did. And she meant them. And honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. I stopped trying to prove myself to my family 3 years ago. He hesitated. Can I ask you something? Sure. Your company. HealthTrack. That's what it's called, right? My heart stopped. Yes. Healthcare analytics. AI-powered predictions. Hospital systems. Yes. He nodded slowly. I thought so. Your last name is Patel. Maya Patel. But when Rachel talks about you, she just says Maya. She never mentions your last name. And HealthTrack CEO is listed as M. Patel in most databases. I didn't make the connection until tonight. You know HealthTrack? Know it? Maya, we've been trying to get a meeting with your company for 8 months. HealthTrack is one of the hottest healthcare tech companies in the country. You're on every VC's radar. My firm has been dying to get in on your Series B. I said nothing. Does Rachel know? No. Why not? Because she decided 5 years ago that I was a failure. And nothing I say will change her mind. She'll just think I'm lying or exaggerating or delusional. So I stopped trying. Daniel ran his hand through his hair. Jesus. Maya, HealthTrack is valued at what, $120 million. $127 million as of our last funding round. And you have how many employees? 73. Revenue. $23 million last year. Projected $41 million this year. And Rachel thinks you're selling crafts on Etsy. She thinks what she wants to think. This is insane. You need to tell her. Why? So she can take credit? So she can tell everyone she always knew I'd succeed? So she can act like she supported me when she spent 5 years calling me a failure. He had no answer for that. Besides, I said, she's going to find out soon enough. What do you mean? We have a meeting scheduled with Redwood Ventures. January 15th. To discuss our Series B funding. I assume you'll be there. The color drained from his face. You're serious? Your firm reached out 3 months ago. We've been in preliminary discussions with your partner, James Chin. He's been very enthusiastic. The meeting is confirmed for January 15th at 2 p.m. at our offices. Oh my God. Yeah. Rachel is going to find out that her fiancé is trying to invest in her sister's joke company. Yes. Maya, I didn't know. I swear I didn't make the connection. I know. It's fine. You're doing your job. This is business. But Rachel, we'll have to deal with reality. Finally. He stared at me. You're not going to tell her before the meeting? No. Why not? Because I'm tired, Daniel. I'm tired of proving myself to people who've already decided I'm worthless. I'm tired of fighting for respect from my own family. I'm tired of being dismissed and mocked and treated like a child playing dress-up. So you're just going to let her walk into that meeting blind? She's not walking into the meeting. You are. And when you come back and tell her about the brilliant CEO you just met with, about the company you're desperate to invest in, about the healthcare tech startup that's changing the industry, then she can figure out it was me all along. That's cold. Is it? Colder than calling my life's work a joke? Colder than telling me I'm wasting my life? Colder than spending 5 years making me feel like a failure? He said nothing. Go back inside, Daniel. Enjoy your Christmas. I'll see you on January 15th. I walked past him, grabbed my coat from the front closet and left. Behind me I heard Rachel's voice. Where's Maya going? God, she's so dramatic. I got in my car and drove back to San Francisco. Back to my joke company. Back to my real life. I arrived at our offices at 7 a.m. HealthTrack occupied the entire fifth floor of a building in Soma. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the bay. Open workspace with 73 desks. Conference rooms named after pioneering doctors. A server room that hummed with the processing power of our AI systems. My CFO Jennifer found me in my office at 8 a.m. Ready for today? As ready as I'll be. Redwood Ventures. Big meeting. Very big. James Chin is bringing two partners. Daniel Hutchinson and Sarah Kim. Standard Series B pitch. They're looking to invest $25 to $30 million for a 15% stake. I nodded. You okay? You seem tense. Daniel Hutchinson is my sister's fiancé. Jennifer's eyes went wide. The sister who called my business a joke at Christmas. Yes. Oh my God. He didn't know. He figured it out at Christmas dinner, but Rachel still doesn't know. And today he's going to walk into my boardroom and realize exactly how wrong my sister has been about me for 5 years. This is going to be awkward. Extremely. Are you going to acknowledge it? Not unless he does. This is a business meeting. We're going to pitch our Series B, discuss our growth trajectory and negotiate terms. His personal connection to me is irrelevant. Maya, he's engaged to your sister. And I'm the CEO of a $127 million company he wants to invest in. Which relationship is more important in this context? Jennifer grinned. I love when you're ruthless. I'm not being ruthless. I'm being professional. Sure. That's definitely what this is. At 1:45 p.m. our head of operations Marcus poked his head into my office. Redwood Ventures just entered the building. Thank you. Conference room A. All set up. Presentation loaded. Financial projections printed. Water and coffee ready. Good. I stood up, smoothed my blazer and walked to the conference room. James Chin I'd met before, twice. He was sharp, enthusiastic and genuinely excited about HealthTrack's potential. He greeted me warmly when I entered. Waya. Good to see you again. James. Thank you for coming. Are you kidding? We've been looking forward to this for months. Let me introduce my partners. This is Sarah Kim. She specializes in healthcare investments. Sarah shook my hand. Your platform is incredible. I've been following your growth for 2 years. And this is Daniel Hutchinson, one of our senior partners. Daniel walked into the room. Our eyes met. The color drained from his face. He froze in the doorway, staring at me sitting at the head of the conference table. At the HealthTrack logo on the screen behind me. At the nameplate in front of my seat that said, Maya Patel, CEO and founder. Daniel. James said. You okay? Yes. Sorry. He looked at me. Really looked at me. Maya. Hi. Hello, Daniel. Please sit down. He sat down slowly, still staring. Have you two met? Sarah asked. Briefly, I said smoothly. At a family event. Daniel is engaged to my sister. James's eyebrows shot up. Seriously? Small world. Very small, I said. Shall we begin? For the next 90 minutes, I presented HealthTrack's growth trajectory, technology platform, client acquisition strategy and financial projections. I was flawless. I always was in these meetings. This was my company. My vision. My life's work. And I knew every number, every metric, every success story by heart. James and Sarah asked excellent questions. Daniel said almost nothing, just watched me with that same stunned expression. When I finished, Sarah leaned forward. Maya, this is extraordinary. Your patient outcome predictions are industry-leading. Your client retention rate is 97%. Your growth trajectory is exceptional. This is exactly the kind of company we want in our portfolio. I'm glad to hear that. What are you looking for in terms of investment? $28 million for a 14% stake. That values us at $200 million post-money, which we believe is conservative given our current trajectory and the 3 major hospital networks we're in final negotiations with. James nodded. That's reasonable. We'd need to do due diligence, of course, but I think we can work with those numbers. Due diligence is expected. My CFO will coordinate with your team. Excellent. James stood up and offered his hand. Maya, this has been one of the best pitches I've seen all year. We're very excited about this opportunity. I shook his hand. Then Sarah's. Then Daniel's. His hand was shaking. Maya, he said quietly. Can we talk? Privately. I looked at James and Sarah. Would you excuse us for a moment? My operations head, Marcus, can show you our development floor if you're interested. That would be great, Sarah said. They left. Daniel and I stood alone in the conference room. You knew, he said. At Christmas. You knew we had this meeting scheduled. Yes. And you didn't say anything. What was I supposed to say? By the way, Rachel, your fiancé is about to invest in my joke company. She wouldn't have believed me. You let me walk in here completely blind. You figured it out at Christmas. You've had 3 weeks to tell Rachel the truth. That's not my responsibility. He ran his hand through his hair. This is insane. My CEO. You've built a $127 million company. You're changing healthcare. And Rachel thinks you're unemployed. Rachel thinks what she wants to think. You have to tell her. Why? Because she's your sister. And she called my life's work a joke. In front of our entire family. He told me I was embarrassing myself. She said I needed to grow up and get a real job. Why exactly do I owe her the courtesy of managing her embarrassment? Because this is going to destroy her. Is it? Or is it going to force her to finally see me as something other than her failure of a little sister? Daniel stared at me. When did you become so cold? When my own family spent 5 years making me feel worthless. When every success I achieved was dismissed or ignored. When I realized that no matter what I accomplished, Rachel would always see me as inferior. I'm not cold, Daniel. I'm just done. What do you want me to do? Your job. Go back to Redwood. Discuss the investment with your partners. Run your due diligence. Make your decision. And if you choose to invest, I'll treat you exactly like any other investor. Professionally, fairly, and without personal bias. And Rachel? That's between you and her. You can tell her about this meeting. You can tell her about HealthTrack. You can tell her that her fiancé is about to invest $28 million in her sister's joke company. How you handle that conversation is up to you. She's going to call you. Probably. What will you say? I don't know yet. But Daniel, understand this. I'm not going to apologize for my success. I'm not going to minimize what I've built to make her feel better. And I'm not going to pretend the last 5 years of dismissal didn't happen. If Rachel wants a relationship with me, she's going to have to accept reality. All of it. He nodded slowly. For what it's worth, Maya, this is incredible. What you've built. The pitch you just gave. You're brilliant. Thank you. Rachel should be proud of you. But she's not. And that's the problem. He left. I stood alone in the conference room looking out at the San Francisco skyline. My phone buzzed. Jennifer, how'd it go? Me, they're interested. $28 million for 14%. Jennifer, and the sister situation? Me, Daniel is probably calling her right now. Jennifer, oh God. Me, yeah. I walked back to my office and waited. Rachel called at 4:47 p.m. I let it ring 4 times before answering. Hello. What the fuck, Maya? Hi, Rachel. How are you? How am I? How am I? Daniel just told me about your company. Your real company. The $127 million company. The company he's about to invest in. The company that employs 73 people. The company that you've been building for 6 years while I thought you were unemployed. I'm not unemployed. I told you that. You said you had a startup. You said you had an office. You didn't say you had a $127 million company. You didn't ask. I didn't ask. Maya, you let me think you were broke. You let me think your business was a joke. No, Rachel. You decided my business was a joke. I tried to tell you otherwise. You didn't listen. When did you try to tell me? 3 years ago at your birthday. I mentioned we'd signed our first major hospital contract. You said, that's nice, and changed the subject. 2 years ago at Thanksgiving. I mentioned we were raising our Series A. You said, good luck with that, in a tone that suggested you thought it was a fantasy. Last Christmas before this one. I mentioned we'd hired our 50th employee. You said, must be nice to play boss. Silence. I tried, Rachel. For years I tried. But you'd already decided I was a failure. And nothing I said would change your mind. You should have tried harder. Why? Why is it my job to force you to see me? Why is it my responsibility to manage your perception of my success? You're my sister. You're supposed to believe in me. You're supposed to support me. Instead, you spent 5 years making me feel small. I was trying to help. By calling my business a joke. By telling me I was wasting my life. By saying I needed to grow up and get a real job. That's helping. I thought you were failing. I thought you were in denial. Because you never asked. You never looked. You never cared enough to see what I was actually doing. You just assumed. How was I supposed to know you were building a $127 million company? By asking. By listening. By treating me like an adult instead of a child who needed to be corrected. Rachel, I told you I had clients. I told you I had employees. I told you I had an office. You dismissed all of it because it didn't fit your narrative. What narrative? That you're the successful one and I'm the failure. That you have the real career and I'm playing pretend. That you're superior and I'm someone to be pitied. That's not. Isn't it? Rachel, you introduced me to your friends as my sister who's still figuring things out. You told our relatives I was between jobs. You told Daniel, your fiancé, that my business was a joke. What was I supposed to think? Long silence. Daniel wants to invest $28 million in your company, she said finally, her voice quieter. I know. That's a lot of money. Yes. You must be really successful. I am. Why didn't you tell me? I tried. You didn't listen. And eventually I stopped trying. It was easier to let you think I was a failure than to fight for recognition from someone who'd already decided I wasn't worth it. Maya, I'm your sister. You should have fought harder. No, Rachel. You're my sister. You should have looked harder. You should have listened harder. You should have believed in me without needing a $127 million valuation to prove my worth. I heard her crying. Actually crying. I'm sorry, she whispered. Maya, I'm so sorry. Are you sorry you were cruel? Or are you sorry you were wrong? Both. I'm sorry for both. I don't know if I believe you. I was horrible to you. At Christmas. I called your business a joke. I called your life a waste. Maya, I was so horrible. Yes. You were. How do I fix this? I don't know if you can. Please. Tell me how to fix this. I closed my eyes. Rachel, you can't fix 5 years of dismissal with one apology. You can't undo the damage of constantly making me feel worthless. You can't erase the fact that you needed a VC meeting to finally see me as successful. Then what do? You sit with it. You understand what you did. You recognize that you hurt me badly and that your apology doesn't automatically heal that hurt. And maybe eventually you do better. I want to do better. I want to be the sister you deserve. Then start by believing me. Not because Daniel confirmed it. Not because there's a number attached to my company. But because I'm your sister and you should trust me when I tell you I've built something real. I do. I believe you. Maya, I believe you. Now you do. After 5 years. After Daniel walked into my boardroom. But you didn't believe me at Christmas. You didn't believe me at Thanksgiving. You didn't believe me for 5 years. That's the problem. How do I earn your trust back? I don't know. Time maybe. Consistency. Proving that you've actually changed and this isn't just embarrassment talking. I have changed. Today changed me. Seeing what you built. Understanding what I missed. Maya, I'm so proud of you. Are you? Or are you proud of the $127 million valuation? Would you be proud if my company was worth $5 million? $1 million? $500,000? Would you be proud if I was still building it in my apartment with 3 employees and a dream? She didn't answer. That's what I thought. Maya. I need to go, Rachel. I have work to do. Can we talk again? Please. Eventually. But not right now. I need time to process this. To figure out what our relationship looks like going forward. To decide if I even want a relationship with someone who only respects me when there's a number that validates my worth. Please don't shut me out. You shut me out first. For 5 years. You decided I wasn't worth your respect or belief or support. Now I'm deciding whether you're worth mine. I hung up. My hands were shaking. Jennifer appeared in my doorway. You okay? No. But I will be. What did she say? That she's sorry. That she's proud. That she wants to fix things. Do you believe her? I believe she's embarrassed. I believe she realizes she was wrong. I don't know if I believe she's actually changed. What are you going to do? My job. I'm going to run my company. I'm going to close this Series B. I'm going to keep building something that matters. And if Rachel can accept reality, all of it, not just the parts that make her look good, maybe we'll find our way back to each other. But that's her work to do, not mine. Jennifer nodded. For what it's worth, you handled that pitch flawlessly. Redwood is going to invest. I'd bet money on it. Good. We need that capital for the Q3 expansion. Ever the CO. It's who I am. It's who I've always been. Rachel just needed a VC to tell her that before she'd believe it. I turned back to my computer and got back to work. Because that's what successful people do. They don't waste time managing other people's perceptions. They build empires while everyone else is still arguing about whether they're real. Redwood Ventures invested $28 million for a 14% stake in HealthTrack. The deal closed on February 28. Daniel was professional throughout the due diligence process. We never discussed Rachel. We kept everything strictly business. And when the papers were signed, he shook my hand and said, "This is going to be a great partnership." I agree. For what it's worth, Rachel is trying. He's been reading about healthcare tech. She subscribed to industry newsletters. She's trying to understand what you've built. That's good. She wants to see you. I know. She's texted me 14 times. Are you going to respond? When I'm ready. He nodded and left. My phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. Saw the announcement about Redwood's investment. Congratulations. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I'm proud of you. You built something incredible. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I love you. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back, "Thank you. I love you too. But I need more time." Her response came immediately, "Take all the time you need. I'll be here when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere." I put my phone down and looked around my office. At the framed magazine covers on the wall. Forbes, Fortune, TechCrunch. At the photos of my team at various company milestones. At the contracts with major hospital systems. At the life I'd built while everyone doubted me. Maybe someday I'd forgive Rachel completely. Maybe someday we'd find our way back to being sisters. But today I had a company to run. And that was enough.